Well, good day, tubes. How's she hanging? Pretty good here. Pretty good here. We're just looking at our little FLIR infrared thermometer-y kind of thermometer-y thingy. And we're going to go and do some testing on this heater that we put in the garage shed building thingy here. Darn it, I was going to bring up a piece of pipe to show you what I used, but anyway, we got the pipe installed. That's her there. Now this stuff is actually meant for water heaters. There's a place about an hour and a half, an hour from me, that used to build water heaters, and they did their own piping. So this is actually a piece of stainless. This isn't the proper termination end. I did have one. I used it at my other garage though. So I made my own. So basically what this is what size was it? 19.5-inch pipe with telescoping. I have telescoping ends too that I fit inside the other one. And I built a little anti-bird nest thingy there too for it. Normally they come built right onto it. So what this does is this would have drawn fresh air in where I've kind of high heat siliconed that shut there. It's a little bit bigger, right? You'd suck fresh air in there and it would exhaust out there, kind of thing. I don't need fresh air in like that, so I siliconed it in. We drilled a nice hole. We drilled a nice hole through our siding and wood. It was pretty hard on my little drill, but it did it. And I didn't film it doing that because it was really dark and crappy the other night. So, but anyways, what we're gonna do? Shut off. We're gonna go in and do some testing because I know you guys were all worried about it catching fire and stuff. So we're gonna go. It's cold. It's not been run today at all. We're gonna go in and fire it up and see what happens. Okay, fired up. Ooh, it's blurry. So I had the HVAC guy come in. He says, no, we can't take that drip tube off there. You need to have that in for collecting any debris that might come through somehow. He says it's not quite as important with the propane as it is with like a natural gas line, because they say if the natural gas guys have fixed a line downstream or something like that, and they happen to get some dirt in the pipes, it could come along the pipe and get into your gas valve and wreck your gas valve all up. And so that's why they put those fellers on there. So he says it's not so important with this. It's not actually a moisture trap because there's no moisture in it, but so he says no, we can't do that. So, but anyways, here's the other end of the pipe, and this is how we rigged it up. Don't know if you want to call it a jerry rig. These are the proper fittings. The only one I don't have is that one to that one. And it's so funny because they put a 4-inch pipe. I don't know if I showed you the back of the heater. They put a huge 4-inch pipe on there, but the actual exhaust is like this little square kind of thing that comes out of the heater, but you got this big, it doesn't make any sense to me. But, so anyways, he says, no, that's okay to neck that down. I wouldn't go any more than that, but 4 to 3 should be fine. So it's too cold right now to silicone around where we went through there, that on the outside. So I'll do that in the spring. We still just got Granny's thing kind of rigged up here, and actually have ran it a little bit. And it got it up to temp 15 degrees in about 15 minutes. So now some of you might be kind of thinking that this is going to be on and running all the time. It's not. It's only going to be running when I'm in here, which honestly, if the door gets if it gets frozen in this corner here again and lifts the door and messes it up, I can't open it, won't be in here anyway. So it's only going to be on when I'm in here. So which is, you know, very little bit probably. So but anyways, let's look at our temp here right now. We're, hang on, I can't see it, I'm blind. It looks like about a -2-ish in and around there. This thing here will actually tell us pretty good. Let's fire it back up again here. It's a pretty sweet little tool, this one. So yeah, we're showing up all on the wall here about -5, almost -6. Is this thing fibbing me? -7, -8. You can see the heater. Oh, there's the light. So we're down below light. So the heater's about there somewhere. It's still -6. It hasn't been on at all. So okay, so what's warm? Oh, the power box is a little... Wait a minute, what's going on here? Why is the wood hot? What? Want to see something really cool? Well, look at that wood in a second. Okay, so here's the wall. Okay. Isn't that cool? You can like see my handprint. It's so hot. Okay, so but where, and why is that wood warm? This one's -5. I don't understand that. The power box. Oop, it's a little bit. No, it's not too bad. I don't know. I don't know why that wood's warm. It's warm wood, I guess, but everything else is cold. So there's 7 degrees roughly on the fluorescent, and gotta get over here a little more, and about 4.5-ish minus on the LED. It hasn't ran very long yet, but okay. So that better turn the gas on. Okay, and now just note that where I've got this stuff is not its final resting place. I will mount the thermostat probably over here somewhere, and the tank I'm going to probably put on like a little mini shelf or something down below. Tank should be outside, but it's not going to be commercially filled by a truck. It'll be unhooked, filled at the gas station, and then hooked back up here. So that's kind of one of the reasons why they have it outside, plus for venting too, if something ever happened. But they put it, it's not to do with, like, you know, an explosion, because like mine down in my garage is like right beside my building. So if there was a problem with explosion, they would have put it way over, you know, over there or something. But it's basically right outside. So, but it's for ease of filling. So, anyways, anyway, we'll officially make a plug for this too one day here. Should fire up right away. It's cold enough here, so. Oh, that little fan didn't come on too bad for being so freaking cold out here. But I know you guys were concerned about having the 1-inch gap below the heater and any combustibles. I am going to look at the temperatures after it runs and comes to temperature. In this room, when it is insulated, it's so small it'll probably heat this up in less than 5 minutes. So, I mean, it's not even going to get the wood warm, I don't think. So, we do have, let's see if I can get a shot. We have 3. Oh, it's not even that close. Hang on a sec, I gotta get up on a ladder here. We'll just make sure this thing fires up here. I think I heard it. I don't really have... Hang on, I gotta grab a ladder. I want to look at this for a second. Oh, we're going up! So I've only got the 2 heat exchangers in this, and you know what? This is probably the most perfect heater to have here, because it's got the heat exchanger way up here. There's a huge gap that is blowing actually really cold air on this bottom plate here. So I'm going to let it run. I'm going to let it come up to temp. Most of the heat seems to be up here. There's not really too much coming out the bottom here, but warm. Oh, it feels nice actually. So yeah, I'm going to let her come up to temp, and then we'll do some temping in and around this thing, especially when it's shut off and it's maybe resonating heat down. This is going to work. I do want to get in here somehow, probably drill through, and then put some bolts through there to hold her in. So, but let's let her get up to temp at least here. Oh! And the comments, ooh, there goes the thermometer. The comments made me kind of giggle a little bit. Oh, I don't remember one guy, it was kind of funny what it's basically kind of putting me down for building a thing like this. Oh, that old ball will never hold, that's so dangerous, never hold. I'm like, yeah, well, didn't you see the part where I hung off both of these? 250 pounds worth of hanging meat, and it didn't even budge. And that thing weighs like maybe 80, 90 pounds. So I think we're well within our build specs, we'll say. So But anyways, I gotta get this ladder out of the way again here, and we'll just get the door closed because that'll help keep the heat in. Okay, so we've been running about 4 or 5 minutes. I just want to see temps as we're looking here. Okay, so this will be, of course, quite a glow there. 250 degrees. But on the bottom we've got 20 degrees. What's the temperature for combusting wood? What is the hottest temperature? Like that heat exchanger is hang on, 250 degrees, but underneath we're 24, and it's just like not even as warm as like your dryer would feel. So that's not too bad. But I gotta let it run, do some cycles here, and I'll try to catch it when I hear the burner turn off, and then we'll see what its kind of utmost temperature would be on this. But I kind of think we're fine. But yeah, I agree with you guys from hanging it from the ceiling, which I still could do. It's actually sitting up there nice now. I could run down some things and hang it from the ceiling too, but this little apparatus I got it on here isn't really in the way. I don't really mind it at all. So like I'll be working on the bench here or whatever. I might even eventually put a bench in there, so I'll be right away from it anyways. So I'm not too worried about it. Seems to be running pretty good there. So, but I'll let her come up to temp. Maybe I'll even turn it up a little more. Right on 15 degrees. 20 is about room temperature, but doesn't need to be that hot in here. But you could turn it up to 20 once this is insulated, and it probably wouldn't take long at all. So that's actually blowing some pretty nice heat, and we're showing about a plus 2.5-ish now almost. So that's not too bad. I'm going to do some temping later on too after it's kind of come up to temp, to see what it is like. I think it's -3 there, and over here we're -2.7, and say way down here where the heat's actually kind of blowing and circulating a bit, we're still about -2.7. So I want to see, look at that on the spray foam, already 6 degrees, and over here we're in the minuses already. That's pretty cool. That's telling you that that's working. So let's, for example, there's no, we're -2 by the light switch here, and we'll go over here to the spray foam, and we're already like 6 degrees, 5 and 6 degrees. So I think I want to spray foam the rest of this place. What about up here? We're 7.4 up there already. So that's only got a little wee 2x4 piece of insulation in there, and it's already 7 degrees up there, and well, it's 2.2 where there's no insulation. Let's see, what is it over here? 1.2, so it should get colder really as we get over here. And we're still, well, not terrible bad there. Anyways, we'll do some temping once it's all up to temp. What's this spray foam all here now? 2.4 degrees. So you go over the wood and you can see the wood's cold, eh? So wood's great, but it's not a super tremendously good insulator. I think I want to spray foam the rest, though. I think I'm not getting my own kits because I've never heard back from the guy that did my container. I don't know, he's not interested in a little job like this, which will only take him probably 45 minutes. He'd be done this. Fill that whole cavity out. Or my little kits I can't do that. So, but anyways, let's let her get up to temp. Is it showing any temp on here yet? Not very much. Come on, Granny, get your thermostat going. Let's get at her. And here we're showing about +5 degrees roughly, something like that. So we'll be back in a few. We'll let her get up to temp. Well, let me just double check. Watch this thing. It's nice that at times that saves your battery, but it's kind of a short time out. I'll just go, so we're 1.3 degrees. Up here we're showing 40 degrees. It's a bit warmer than I thought it would have got. It's right under the heat exchanger though. But I don't know, what's the combustion temperature of wood? I should look that up. It's just like about as warm as your dryer would get now. It's not that hot. I don't think I'd be too concerned about that, but I could put something between the heater and the wood, like a chunk of drywall or something like that. Get some strips of drywall. I think I got enough flexi in this pipe and I can lift it up a hair bit and that will kind of flex in those 45s. So that's maybe the plan, but I'll let her come up to temp. We'll do some more temping and see how we're looking. I don't know why, I just find this so cool how, you know, I can point at the bare wall, we've got -1, we go over to the foam and we've got 2 degrees. You know, this stuff is, wow, what is that? It's still 2.2, and then the foam here is for some reason showing a little colder. Up on the roof here we've got 3.7, and then on the nothing we've got, it's warming up a bit, but so 3.7 over there, then over here where there's really no draft yet, -1. So let's try here. Got about -1 on the foam here. We got, well, it's not quite warm yet, but I don't know why I think that's just so awesome. I like the foam. Foam is fun. It was cool to put on, except it didn't expand quite as much as I thought it really would have, but I don't know, what can I do? So here's a question for you guys. So I want to do maybe spray foaming in the ceiling too. What do I do with those? Put a bat in there on like its side and then just spray foam in the hole there and plug all that up? I don't really need airflow there. I know you're supposed to have airflow come up here, but I'm going to spray foam it all, so that's going to basically seal it in. So the shingles will seal that side and the spray foam will seal this side, so there technically shouldn't be any moisture in there. Shouldn't be any moisture in there. So I just think I should bung it right up. I don't know, like, I know normally in your ceiling that would be all open, but you'd have another layer here with insulation, you know, on the top, and then your ceiling part here, right? So that's how it is in my house anyways. This stuff is all open here and it vents right out and then vents out the little things up the top, but I'm not living out here, so I don't really need it, you know, housed, we'll say. But anyways, this thing's been running for a wee bit now. I'm gonna let it run for till it shuts off anyways. So I'm gonna let her do a couple of cycles and then we'll get her up to temp here and then see how warm it is under the wood there. We'll try to lift it up maybe a little bit and get my fingers in there to see how warm it is. Alright, we're warming. It's taken longer than I thought, but that's okay because that's a good test for our heat thing here. So let's just do this wall for fun here. We're 13.5. Funny enough, on the foam we're about same. What's this bare wall over here? About 12 degrees, and that stuff is 16.2. It's actually warmer on that stuff than the foam. That surprises me. It's all pretty close though. What about up here? 17.7 up there, so 14.2 on the bare. 10, 11, 10 degrees up there. So we're warming, and we're almost up to 15 degrees there. What's Grandma telling us here? 10, 11, 12 degrees on her gauge. So it's coming. It would be a lot faster with insulation. Definitely a lot faster. 9.10 degrees on this wall. What is it way back in here? 10 degrees. What is it way Down in the corner here, still got -1 way down there. We got just over 0 on the floor. So let's do, I guess that'd be a good spot here. We'll start at the floor with 0. Yes, heat rises. Heat definitely rises. 14 degrees right down to 1 degree down here. So it's definitely cooler down here, and it's, you know, warmer of course up top, but we could probably have to maybe put in a fan to blow it around and back down, but I'm not gonna really worry about that too much. So now the question is, this has been running for, well, I want to wait till it actually gets right up to temp. If it'll get it there, I think we maybe have just a bit too much heat leaking. We'll leave it running though. I'm curious to see, and I found on a little article here, wood usually ignites at 250 to 300 degrees Celsius. So we're gonna say safely 200 degrees. Let's see what we're showing here. Right on the heater we're showing 44. And we'll say 24, 44, 48, 40, just in the mid-ish 40s I think I'm getting everywhere. Gotta be warm in there though. 250. What's our exhaust pipe doing here? I'll see if I can read it. Oh, it's not very, can't really get up here too well. It's not very hot as I would have thought. It's only 19, 20 degrees. Wow. I want to go out and temp the outside here too, just to see what it's doing. It's dark out here, so, oh, it's really cold out here. Okay, we can't see much, I know, but we can see this guy, hopefully, and we can go by that. So right outside here is, where is it? Let's see if I can even see it. There. Hang on, I'm gonna have to get a bit closer to it here, sorry. Okay, there we go. Now we can see her. Keep her still. About 12 or 13 degrees out here, so that's not too bad. That won't be warming up this the plastic too much here. 3 degrees, so that's good. That's not gonna melt the plastic. And when we get to the metal, we're about 3 degrees-ish, roughly, so that's good. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, the plastic isn't even warm to the touch, and the pipe outside, I can put my hand on it, and it actually feels nice. So it's not a high-efficiency furnace, but I don't have to worry about water vapor then, right? So it burns it off again, but ooh, it's nice in here. Some insulation will make a world of difference. Yeah. So what I want to try to do now is I'm going to throw these on a tripod. I'm just going to lift up the heater a bit and see if the wood is warm at all. Okay, I'm not going to temp it with my gun because I don't think I can actually... Well, you know what? I could probably get up there. Give me 1 second. I'll get the ladder over here maybe. Okay, so this side won't be hot at all because the heat is all on this side. This is the only real side I got to worry about. So just to refresh our memory blank here, the bottom pan is showing like 46 degrees. I think I said 250. What was I reading that? 250 to 300 degrees Celsius to actually ignite it. So let's just try to lift this up a little bit here, not disturb things back there too much. We're about 35, 33. So it's actually absorbing some of that. Well, that feels really nice up here. So I don't think I got a thing to worry about with that problem. Make sure my pipes are still good back here. The only thing I might do is oh, hey, it just shut off. We're down there for 15 degrees. Did you hear that click? That's shutting the burner on, shutting the gas valve off. So that should cool down here and shut off now. Now we'll leave it running and see how long it takes to turn back on again. So that ran for probably an hour, and the hottest it's going to get, I think, is at 46 degrees. There's quite a wind blowing through that, right? So it keeps the air moving over it, which keeps it from cooling. Because, you know, inside we were like 200 and something on the burners, and down here we're 45, so that's a heck of a reduction. So I don't really think there's going to be any issue with our sweet shelf here. And 41 degrees now, it's even come down cooler. So that just shut off the vent fan there. What's running now is the forced air over the heat exchangers. And then that should shut off. Grandma will get grouchy in about probably 3 or 4 minutes on her thermometer and start turning it back on. So, but it is very cool down at the ground, so but I think we could get that fixed and solved once we spray more of the walls. And it's pretty cold on the other side. I got about 0 degrees, and then right up the wall on the top I've got about 12 on that side, and this side's more steel, and I got 15-ish up there. So definitely make a difference if I get the holes in the walls and the cavities filled in, I think. So this should shut off here soon once the residual heat's blown off. And that's definitely cooled down a lot. It's down to 32 now. Should be converting this for you too, but it doesn't take much to convert a 32s. 20 degrees is room temperature. There, she just shut down. So we're right down to 30 here now. So, and the burners are down to about 80 from 250. So I'm just going to leave the camera running here. We'll talk about something and see how long it takes for Grandma to get grouchy here and turn the heater back on. So, but yeah, so that probably shouldn't. Well, once we get it insulated in here, it shouldn't burn up too much propane. I don't think it's going to take too much to warm this up to operating temperature, we'll say. So it'll probably run maybe, boy, I'd be surprised on a cold day if it was well insulated and sealed up nice so there's no real air leaks. I would think about 10 minutes it'd be nice and toasty warm in here. So versus an hour, because it's got to heat up all these radiant walls that are radiating cool air, right? So I think we'll be all right. So we'll let that sit a few minutes. Just want to see how she restarts. That vent motor is a little bit kind of shaky. I don't know what I should put. I'd like to screw it right down, but I don't really want it to be like a vibrating noise. It was a little bit vibraty there, right? So I don't want it to be too vibraty, but it's not sitting perfectly good either there for some reason. I might get some of that sticky, foamy tape stuff maybe and try to lay some of that down. I don't know if that'd be good for shock stuff, or maybe I should just screw it down and tighten it down to the wood. But I don't think we're going to have any combustion problem, especially once we get it insulated. And it only runs like, bet you 10 minutes and that'll be it. So I can already feel it cooling off pretty quick though. That heat is definitely going up through the roof and long gone. Like our soffit vents are all wide open. I guess I could have done them, there she goes, already. It's even worse than when it was down in the big garage. I could go probably about 20 minutes before it would turn on again. This is about 6. So that seemed to turn up alright though. So it did drop probably a little bit. pretty sensitive thermostat. I'm still showing 14 on here, and I got it set right to 15, so it's only dropped like a degree, and it's already turning it back on. So there she goes. She is lit. I think we're gonna be just fine. I don't think there's gonna be any problem. It's almost cool there now, like it's cooled right off, so that's should be fine. I'm not gonna, I don't think, bother hanging it from the ceiling. We'll just get in there with the spray foam gun, and you know, we'll just enough to keep the air from going through. I don't really need it like filled. I don't need like an R50 in the roof. That's just kind of ridiculous. If it was your house, yeah, maybe okay, you might want it a bit warmer, but for out here, that's all I need is just basically what I've done in the walls. I think gotta be lots. And then I might put some plywood on the inside walls here, but I don't think I'm gonna do the roof. I'll just leave it the way it is, spray it and be done, and drive on. So that seems good. I'll let that run maybe a few more minutes and see how long it takes until it shuts down again. But I think we're going to be good. But I do want to do some securing of this guy, and then officially mount the thermostat. I guess I should get some proper wire for it. Boy, I don't need much, but you can buy it off the spool at Home Depot. I think it's about 99 cents a meter or something like that. It's not very much, so geez, I only need like, boy, maybe a couple of meters anyways. It wouldn't be very much. And don't know whether I should be spray foaming in here while it's really cold outside. I think you're supposed to have it, your surfaces are supposed to be like at least 20 degrees, I think it was on the instructions. Where I don't know if I can actually, unless I got a warm day outside where it's not too bad, that might work, but you probably should wait until springish time to do that, because I know the chemicals themselves have to be over 20 degrees. They can't go under so they don't mix and spray right. So but they make, the ones I got were, I think, a 200 board foot. I'm going to look it up on the Depot website. 200 board foot, and then I think you can get, is that right? Hang on a sec, I gotta check that out. I'm just gonna leave this running. We'll keep talking here. I'm just gonna look it up on the Home Depot website. I guess you could stare at me maybe if you wanted to, or maybe the heater's better. I don't know, it's up to you. So let's go to the Home Depot. I was there the other day, and they actually had a couple of these big kits. So the smaller kits are the ones that I did this wall with, and partially to that wall, and that's all I got out of it. I think it's supposed to, well, hang on a second, let me look it up here. Spray foam. I like the idea of the spray foam because it'll seal everything up too, right? Spray foam also acts as a building stiffener. We'll say it'll stiffen everything and glue everything kind of together, right? Where pink foam or pink insulation, kind of all it does is stop the air from kind of going through it. So yeah, so what we got was 200 board foot, smaller cans, like, you know, smaller guys, or you can get 600 board foot, which is like the size of the propane tank here, the 20-pound propane tank. That's like a 600 board foot. There'd be 2 of them. So it's quite expensive, but I think I can pretty much do all the rest of the walls with it, and maybe some of the ceiling too. So oh crap! Hang on, I got a picture loading here. That's a picture of the big tanks. So they're big tanks like that, whereas in the 200 I got was like kind of the size of them small helium tanks, and that did a fair bit, but I think if I got the big one it would probably do the rest of it. So, or darn near decent enough. But so anyways, We'll let Grandma finish one more cycle here, perhaps, maybe, and when she shuts off, we'll shut her off for the night. I think we're going to be just fine. Oh yeah, I got to do some electrical too and run a little guy to it. I think I'm just going to use the plug that I got plugged into it now, and just plug that into a plug we'll mount onto a wall or right onto somewhere there, and we should be good. So Grandma Reznor is working good. She's blowing some nice heat to me there. So I turned the fins down, as you can see, quite a bit, so it shoots it down to the floor maybe a little better, but it's pretty hard. Hot air is hard to penetrate that cold air. My goodness. Craziness. We got no beeping, so that's good. Yeah, so she's warmed up there again, but I'm not too worried with that at all. It's more actually hot. More hot on the top, believe it or not. Just for fun. As you know, the heat rises. Let's do a temp on the bottom. We got 40.2. And on the very top, we got, about 65. So I'd be more worried about too much heat up top than below. Yeah, we got about 62 to 65 up there, so wow, that's crazy. So I'm not too worried about that bottom heat now that I see that top heat's really hot. I kind of really think that's all right. Well, I'm not going to maybe run Grandma anymore here. So let's shut her down here. Shut her down, Grandma! Blow your heat off! We'll let that finish cycling and we'll shut her down. I think we're going to be just fine. Let's heat that up pretty good in here, but like I say, with the insulation in, it'll be way faster and stay way warmer for a lot longer. So it is about minus right now outside. Hang on a sec here, this phone is not working. We are, oh my gosh, now I'm going to roll all this, hang on. We are about -2 outside. It says it feels like -7, so that's not too bad. I'm pretty happy with that. So there, that motor's off. Seemed to have been working pretty good today. I still think I might want to pop it off and have a look at it maybe in the off season or something, and see if we can get some actual lube onto those the little bearing bushing thingies in there, and see if that helps it out a little bit. I don't think it needs a lot of oil, but just a couple of drops probably would do it for another 20 years. But I think we're gonna be all right. I'm pretty happy with that. I guess I could probably turn off the gas now. Kind of like the idea of turning that off when you're not here too, right? So it looks like I'm just a little bit lower than in the middle of the tank. So I think when we started, we were maybe just about the top there, so we've only used like a ½ inch out of that whole tank. There we go, Grandma's done. Thanks, Granny. You made her warm in here for about 3 minutes, then we gotta get out of here. So, and then outside it's probably, yeah, it's pretty cold out here and crappy. So that'll be nice. Nice for working, so. But sort of what my plan is eventually, whenever we get the boards all up and stuff there, I might, if I have some extra spray foam, I might do a bit more into these walls here, but we'll get them all coated first and then see how we're looking. But I think we're gonna be good. But I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, some more workbenches or a workbench across here or something. I'd love to be able to get more fireproof, for as in using my welder in here and doing some welding and some more welding projects. I got one welding project planned that I wanted to do, but just haven't been able to get to it yet. So and it's it's a tool I used for doing some fencing actually that I kind of thought maybe I should make my own, and I've got everything here to do it. I just gotta do it. So one of these days we'll get to it. But welding in here with wood walls and wood floors and wood, I don't kind of really like that idea, so I don't know whether it would be a good idea or not, and if it would even work. I'm not too worried about the walls because it'll kind of, sparks will bounce off and then land on the floor. That's where the bad problem is. If it hits the floor, that could catch fire pretty good there. But I'm thinking, what about if I used some of that concrete sort of wallboard stuff? If you put that on the floor, I don't know if it would just all break and fall apart and be no good and garbage, and then you'd have to tear it out in a year. Or what would be the best idea for kind of fireproofing the floor, or spark fireproofing the floor, if we happen to do some welding in here? That I'm not too sure of yet, but we'll figure that out. I actually have a friend who was a firefighter there, and he was a fire inspecting guy. He would inspect fires after they happened. Should actually contact him maybe and see what he thinks about that. What would be the best method or thing to use, because I'm not too sure. You want something that's going to last a while, especially driving machinery back and forth over it and stuff, but something that's not going to fall apart, but something that's going to keep the fire from firing, right? So something to think about. I was actually thinking of maybe, because you know I've got the 2x4s are pouring a little cement pad in here, you know, starting the corner there and just kind of smooth it, and as we go and smooth it until we, I'm thinking it sounds like a lot of work, so I don't know if I want to do that or not, but I would definitely make it a little higher in here, and but that would be a good fireproof thing as a cement floor, right? But that's only what, 1 3/4, 1.5 inches or something, so that wouldn't be very much. And I kind of think that would probably break on you too pretty easily. So I don't know if that's such a good idea, but that or some kind of sheet of something that could go down, or sheet the whole floor with that cement board stuff. I don't know. So, but that's way off in the distance. We got we can do welding project outside. Got nice in here when it's warm though. You know, for this time of year. Plasma cutting, I don't really think I'll do plasma cutting in here. I could do it outside, but I don't have enough air up here out of my compressor to run the plasma cutter. It eats air like crazy. It burns right through it real fast, so that's not going to work. But plasma cutting, yeah, I mean, geez, if I had enough hose, I could run a hose up from my garage down there. So that's like quite a bit of hose. By the time it gets up here, it's probably about 20 psi, so that's not going to work. Plus, I probably don't really have enough power out here unless I use my gen to run the compressor. There's only 110, 15 amp circuit coming out here for what we're running out here. So that we got to kind of watch too, our power consumption, because we will probably pop something inside, or on this feller here probably pop that one first, I would think. But other than that, I think that's about it. Potentially I might have to maybe run out another couple more lines. I've got quite a few empty spaces in our new panel inside, so I could run some services out here. Probably something like a buried electric hose for like a stove or something. Maybe we could run 3 of them or something. I'd have to change that panel because that's only a single bar panel, so that's not so good. But for now, I think we'll be fine. So I guess I wonder if I could. I can't remember what the main breaker is in this. Oh, that's right. It doesn't have a main. It's just got a bunch of 15s in it. I'll have to pop that open and look at it. I can't really remember now. But I'm not going to need a whole pile of power out here, though. I don't believe. I got power here anyways in my gen. If I need more power, I can fire that up and use that. So, you know, I could actually run this whole building probably off of that guy and put welding plugs and maybe put that even in a separate little building outside or something, you know, and run it and run this whole building just off of the gen and then shut it off when I don't need it, right? So, I mean, I really don't need power out here all the time, just when I'm out here. So, it's getting cool out here, so I'm gonna go soon. But anyways, there's some things to think about. Some more spray foaming to do soon here, hopefully. I don't know if it's a good time of year to be doing that unless it's really warm in here, and keep it really warm and go at it. The walls I think have to be fairly warm, and it would have to probably heat in here for quite a while to wow, I can feel like drafts coming through here even. So spray foaming all that in there, seal that up, lose all that heat loss and cold infiltration. So it's probably more over here too. It's not terrible, too bad, but there would be probably a, I don't know, wherever the boards are joining, but it'd be nice just to done, and then, you know, spray it and go. That's what I like about it. None of this pink crap, and you got to cut it and fit it and push it and stuff it and then wrap plastic on it, and like that's just like endless work. Spray and go. Sounds so nice. Anyways, and it's a lot easier. It's fun. I actually enjoyed that because I like spray painting and stuff, right? So I like that crap. I just kind of wish the nozzles were a little better, but I don't know if the bigger kit comes with different nozzles or better spray nozzles or what, but anyways. So I'm gonna go. Thanks again for watching. We'll catch you all later. If you got any more suggestions on what we need to do, let me know. I think we're gonna be fine though with that here. I don't think there's gonna be a problem, especially like I say, once we get it insulated. It'll be probably about 10 minutes and it'll be hot enough in here. And if the heat doesn't escape, it'll stay in longer and it won't have to run as much. So it's not even gonna hardly bother that wood at all. So but anyways, we'll if we have to, we can add something to the bottom of that, like some drywall or something underneath it. But I don't think we're going to have a problem. It's a lot hotter on top, though. I was quite surprised at that. I guess heat rises, right? So, but yeah, anyways, going to go. Thanks again for watching. You guys have a good day, and we'll catch you all later.